Happy Friday, everybody. I'm Nick Slavik. I'm the proprietor of the Nick Slavik Painting and Restoration Company. I'm also the host of this show, Ask a Painter Live. It's a weekly live Facebook show where I use my over 2 decades of experience as a craftsman, an entrepreneur, and a lover of houses to answer any of your questions live. Now, for homeowners, this is a chance to ask a huge group of professional painting contractors anything you ever wanted to know about painting. Cabinets, trim, inside, outside, anything you want. For professionals, this is for entrepreneurship, marketing, apprenticeship, coding science. We can talk about anything you want. And as usual, this is sort of the open door policy where anytime you want to ask a question, type it in down below, and halfway through the show and at the end of the show, I'll scroll through and we'll get a bunch of those questions going. So today we are inside. It is raining in Minnesota, as it's apt to do in the summer now. Evidently, we have very rainy summers. This is our second rain day of the week, and it's a Friday. So what I did is I brought parts of 4 of my different crews inside, and we're tackling a major interior repaint kind of all in one day here. So I'm going to go through a little bit of business right here, and then I'm going to give you a quick job site walkthrough. And today, I'm going to make good on a promise that I made last week. I'm going to show you how a professional painter paints a wall. Now, I understand that there are tons of ways to do this. Everybody's got their favorite way. This is less of me saying, this is exactly how you do it. I'm just going to show you how I teach all of my apprentices to do a basic, standard sort of interior repaint on a wall. So, thank you to the PDCA, Painting and Decorating Contractors of America, for underwriting the show and passing it through to all the other professional contractors out there. All of these shows are archived in the education section of the PDCA's website. All of these shows are also archived on YouTube. And the kindest thing you can do for a show like this is to share it. Get some more homeowners involved, get some more professional painters involved, with the goal of raising the standard of our industry so that we all do better, doing better together. So. We do have a PDCA contractor question of the week. I will go through a little bit of business here. I have a Northeast tour going on October 8th through 11th. I'll be going to Massachusetts, Connecticut, New York, and Vermont, giving 2 master's classes a day to a whole bunch of painting contractors in those specific areas. It'll be kind of a whirlwind tour there. A lot of my master's classes are very, very science driven and experience driven. So this is not a theory about this. I have many, many jobs that I take from. We have time-lapse footage, we have GoPro footage, a whole bunch of good stuff to show you. Coding science. So if you need more information on that, get a hold of the PDCA. I believe there's a link to sign up for those master's classes on their homepage, which is really cool. Also, Crank 2.0 in Denver. The next time I will be leaving all my beloved apprentices will be September 14th through 16th, Friday through a Sunday. And Nick May, who owns Walls by Design, super innovative paint company. He's based in Denver. He has these, I think he has at least one of these a year, might be having 2 a year here. But Crank, it's a whole bunch of business, paint business entrepreneurs getting together talking about business. And Nick is a super analytical guy, super business driven guy, and he has great information. And I'm actually going to be emceeing the whole thing. I will be giving one of my brand new master's classes there, a truncated version of that there. So Tyler, thank you for the kind words here. Ryan Turi as well. And also, really cool guys, I have a landing page on This Old House now, which, you know, being associated with This Old House has been a lifelong childhood dream of mine. I look up to what they do on that show, who they are on that show, the quality and the values that they extol on that show very greatly, and to be associated with it is pretty cool. So I put a link up at the top here if you want to go see my landing page there, and I am coming up with some brand new content for that, and we will be putting that through to This Old House here. So okay, the PDCA contractor question of the week. I'm going to go through this, and then I'm going to show you, I'm going to paint this wall for you and show you exactly how I like my walls painted and exactly how I teach my apprentices. So PDCA contractor question of the week is, how do you manage production on rain days? What do you do with all your crews? So I thought this was an awesome time to bring that up because this is exactly what we're doing today. So I'm going to take you around here and show you my job site quickly, and then I promise I will paint a wall for you today, and it will not get cut off like it did last week. All right, so we usually work in teams. My crews are usually teams of 2, so we got a 2 crew here, the Young Dream team, the 2 blonde-haired fellas, Kanan and Alex. We got 1 cutter, 1 roller. We got young Aaron here. He's putting together his hallway. He's done with his hallway. We have Couple guys up in the upper stairwell here, getting some things done. We're going through the main level here. Back through here, you can see John painting the stairs down, and John is in charge of this job. He's the most senior one here, so I put him in charge of this circus today. So yeah, otherwise we're just basically doing kind of a standard interior repaint, but to a very, very high degree. All the sconces came off the walls, and those are in the shop, and I'm painting these for these guys so they can keep going. We got lunch happening here with Orion. So yeah, basically how we manage production on jobs like this is I take a look at the size of the job, and I see that this is either a multiple day job, probably a 2 or 3 day job for a 2-man crew, or we can get parts of all my crews in here, and we can basically just divide this thing up like it's a whole bunch of small into small little jobs here. So when we started the job, I did a quick walkthrough. I put John involved. We made sure we got all the colors right here, and I'll be I'll be getting to these questions too as soon as we're done with this, guys. So I divide the project up in a whole bunch of small projects. So I take a crew and I say, your stairwell is this. I need you to just think about this stairwell today. That's all you have to do is complete your mission. And we have 4 of those going on. We divide this up, and in the course of like 6 hours, 6.5 hours, we will have accomplished this. So this family with young kids here can get back to their life. When we're done, we'll move all the furniture back. We will sweep, we'll dust, we'll vacuum, we'll mop. We'll get everything set up again. The only thing we won't do is hang pictures on the walls, and we'll back ourselves out of here at least as good as we found them, hopefully better, and then that'll be that. So let's see if we got any couple questions here, and then I'll paint a wall for you guys. Oh, Stace Weber watching from over the pond. That's awesome. There's a lot of people watching from Scotland, UK, all that stuff. I love all that stuff. So Michael Van Mork again from the Netherlands, my good friend from over there. Joe Burmeister, thanks for watching. Rachel Neiman, David Anderson. Oh, Christine Turner from the PDCA. Thanks for watching today, guys. All right. Joseph Hecker, how you doing, sir? Ricky Johnson, the drop cloth prep. Yeah, I am multiple times in between coats. I have one of the young apprentices go around too and kick drop cloths in towards the stuff. Canvas is cheap, and it lasts for 20 to 30 years, and we go sick on canvas. It's cheap insurance for what we do. So Danny Turry, thanks for watching. Joe Burmeister. Hey Nick, what does your apprenticeship course consist of? The length of it, hour base, is there a pay increase as you come? No, what's interesting is that I let all of my young apprentices negotiate their own wage, whatever they think they're worth, and if it's not crazy, I pay that to them when they come on, and I expect them to constantly improve. So one of the things I do is I basically unburden them from the task of being fast right away. I tell them I don't care how long this takes you, but you must constantly improve. You need to make sure our clients are happy. You need to keep improving every time I see you, and that's okay. And speed will always come. So quality is way more important than speed. Derek Anslem, been good talking to you this week. Mark Johnson, hello from the middle of a cornfield. That's awesome. Nick Barker, no pictures on walls ever. When I do put pictures on, it's usually those pictures over the stairwell. For an elderly couple or for somebody that doesn't have a ladder, I'll put the ladders back up there, or the pictures back up there. I don't, as a matter of fact, because the paints that we use are pretty high quality. They take a little longer to cure. They got good resins in them, but they do need a little time to do their final cure. They'll dry to the touch quickly. I've noticed that if you take a big piece of art and hang it on this and don't touch it for 6 months, it will sort of stick to the wall a little bit, because we use eggshells and flat enamels and things that got a little more stuff to them. They're not just kind of chalky flats, so we got to be careful of that stuff. So people are normally happy that if I never get objections when I don't hang pictures, because we're moving all their furniture, we're cleaning their house, we're basically doing everything else for them. So small price to pay. So Kathy Covington, my mug lady, thank you so much for watching. Andy Betancourt, Dave Rushing, thank you so much for watching, sir. Trevor Johnson. Oh yeah, Philip Klein. Quad City's making a pitch for master's class. That's an easy one. I could drive down there lickety split. So you gather up some people and we'll do it. So Dominic Jones, doing an excellent question is, what about your advice on building a team for your business? This is a stage of business that I moved into now, where I'm basically a morale builder, a team builder, and a technical advisor. And I've dedicated my entire life to this. I should devote more time to this, but basically the key to this is doing what all painting contractors do not want to do, which is appeal to the personality and spend a lot of time getting to know your people, investing in them, seeing what they want. This morning we had a company-wide breakfast at our local cafe down here, and it was kind of an open door policy where anybody could talk about anything they wanted to. So a very unsatisfying short answer for a very complex problem. It normally has to do with do something you don't want to do, which is invest a whole bunch of time into the soft stuff like people and less time in spreadsheets and the technical science, and that builds a team. Culture is everything. The technical skills will follow that if they're on board with your culture. So Dominic, I hope that helps you out there. Mike Danahy. Hey Nick, what do you use for patch on walls? Any fast drive products? I got one for you right here, Cosmos. Cosmos Painting. Aaron, you want to grab me some patch?
Yep.
And then you can film me here. 1 second. All right, so we have completely converted our interior kind of repaint patching to this. It dries very fast, it sands very smooth. It's a very hard product compared to a lot of other stuff. It's a great spackling compound, and we order it by the truckload and use tons and tons and tons of it. So that's what we've been doing in the past here. Let's see what else we got. Brian Mady, do you like taking on new people with no experience? That's all I do. I once a year or maybe twice a year I try to find an experienced painter, take them on and do that, and it never works out. Usually they're not as good as they say they are, and number two, they definitely don't meet the culture of the business. I'm open to it. I would love to just plug in experienced painters, but having them onboarded into the culture of the company is very tough. So Brian, that's all I do is take people off the street. So Ricky, what's your view on using 18-inch rollers versus 9 on larger jobs? We definitely do it. 14s as well. So when we're on new construction, big remodels where we're just doing a whole bunch of stuff with no trim, definitely 14s and 18s. But honestly, for stuff like this, you'd only be able to really reap the benefits of an 18 on a very small portion here. So Brian May, training, I do that at the end and have my foreman help out and teach. Yeah, what we've done, I used to hand train everybody. They used to work with me for 6 months to a year, and then I felt that they were up to standard. We can do that a lot quicker though. I was just being a little anal retentive about it. What I found is that I take one of my senior craftspeople and I give him new recruits, and we do experiments to see how quickly they can onboard. So there's no magic videos, there's no magic books you can give them. I basically just put them on jobs and tell them I don't care how long it takes, you just do it right, but do it under the guidance of this guy, and whatever we're working on that day, they do it. So my last batch of new recruits, they were actually doing industrial epoxy on floors, in dog kennels, and all this other stuff right away, spraying cabinets, because that's what we ended up doing that time. So, Chad Merriam, good to see you, sir. Right on, makes sense. Oh, thanks, Nick. Appreciate it. Okay, so I won't make you guys wait anymore. I'm going to paint a wall, as promised. I'm going to have young Aaron here film me, and I'll kind of take you through our process of doing this. Last week the feed cut out right as I was about to paint a wall for you guys. Today it is not that case. We are in my hometown. We have good cell signal, and as long as Aaron doesn't screw it up, we'll have a wall for you. Okay, so the wall in question is this wall behind me here. This is an accent color. You can see we got a nice color green, and the rest of the house is tan here. So I'm going to walk you through quickly the prep process, and then I will paint this wall for you, the final coat. All right.
Doesn't matter where you're going to stand.
Oh, you gotta go sideways. There you go. Okay, everything look good?
Yep.
You're still alive? Didn't lose the feet?
You're still alive.
Okay, so this wall has been completely prepped. And by prep, we've moved furniture away, we've laid down canvas. The first step we do is to get patches going immediately, and fans going, so we can get it all dried up. So as soon as canvas are down, patches are on, we get big box fans. You can show them these box fans too. Huge fan of super efficient box fans. So once that's going, then while the patches are drying, we'll get our frog tape on here. We use 1-inch frog tape. Seems to do a really good job. We lay out the frog tape by hand after brushing off the baseboard. We snap a piece off 3 or 4 feet long. We tack it down with one finger, guide it with the others, tack it down, and then we take a painter's tool or putty knife and finally just give it that last little bit, because my fingers are too big to actually get into the perfect corner of that thing there. So we use a painter's tool or putty knife to get that off there. So once everything is dry and the patches are sanded, we're ready to paint. This one has 1 coat of paint on, and I'm going to put the second one on. So my general thinking is, number one, we got to keep a wet edge. We got to get consistent paint on the walls, but we also have to do it efficiently. So I'm a big fan of top to bottom, left to right, moving around in a clockwise fashion. If we're only doing this wall, what I normally do first, obviously, like I showed you before, we work in teams. So one person will be cutting, one person will be rolling. If I'm doing this wall myself, it's a small enough wall, not a lot of wall space, where I feel I can cut this whole wall first and have enough time that the paint's still wet that we can roll. So what I will do is I'll take a cut can and we'll start at the bottom corner, and it's kind of the rainbow method where you cut up, you cut over, you cut down, and then you connect the dots back here. Now because we have this big picture here, picture window here, what I'll do is I'll simultaneously cut these two up, I'll cut the top over, cut the bottom down, and then get into the elements of the baseboard and the bottom side of the casing. You can see at the top of the casing and the bottom of the casing, normally those are unfinished, they're full of paint. We just got to put a line on top of those. We'd have to spend so much time cleaning those off, getting dust off, old construction debris, and we just cut it from the line. So we have cut can here. Cut can here. Then can you grab me, Alex? Can you grab me a chain, a hook and a chain?
Yeah.
Thank you. We have 9-inch roller. This one, we love our booster stuff, so we got the GT convertible poles here, the snap end on it, the booster frame, and we're experimenting with some pretty white dubs. It's not something we normally use. We've been experimenting with them for the last month and with really good results. So I think we'll probably start mixing them in. Our normal roller covers are booster Pro Z's, usually half-inch MTPs for today's paints. That's what MTP stands for. Basic roller tray here. Very controversial, but I use roller trays. A lot of people prefer 5-gallon buckets. I can get into a whole list of reasons why I don't do that, but I've had great success with this for a reason too. So, brushing first, we want a consistent. We want a consistent finish. Purdy, Pro Extra Alaska 2.5. I'm still a fan of straight cut. And you can come over closer if you want to see it. I'm still a big fan of straight cut. I want to be objective. I have not had, I don't enjoy using angled sashes. I fully understand that might be because I've been doing this for 25 years. And I may just not be able to, I may just not be able to change my own ways. But objectively, I do not like the unidirectionality of them. So if you have an angled sash, depending on which end you want in the corner, you have to pay attention to which end you get in your can. And again, when we dip our can, or our brushes in our cans, we usually get an inch of paint, come up, wipe one side, tip the brush up, and then go to the wall. That prevents that last little bit. If you just go straight out from the paint, a lot of the times you get that one little drip that'll go on the ground. And even though we have drop cloths now, a boot could step on it, and somebody could walk out on the concrete, go up for lunch, and leave it there. So we will get to it. So this is how I teach my apprentices to cut a wall. Bottom left-hand corner, wiggle it into the corner there, and we want one nice consistent brush full of paint, and we want to feather the edge out as it goes into the wall. And feather it out as it meets the other wall here too, because you're never going to cut a perfectly clean line, but when it dries, you don't want a whole bunch of chunks out there. So. Because I'm right-handed, I usually put the right side of the ladder, my right hand closest to the wall. Chain hook keeps the paint up there.
Yeah, let's see it. Try on the board that way.
I usually tip the bristle up, wiggle it into the corner, and then lay out the paint. Make a connection, make a nice smooth corner. And then when I cut a ceiling, make sure you're getting close enough here, Aaron. When I cut a ceiling, the paint is left here. I do not start with a brand new thing of paint right there. I come out a little bit because I want the paint to be distributed evenly. So I'll go 6 or 8 inches out. I got the paint on the one side of the brush because I wiped it. Flip it towards the wall. Take it towards where I left off. Back through, go out a little farther, and then make sure you get a full brush length, one final brush tip off. down to about waist or eye level. We'll finish up the ceiling. Get the end, and I don't want to flick my bristle like this because then we're going to get on the paint here with the light here. So we're going to bring it to the end and just give it a quick wiggle down. And again, never drag your brush back against an outside corner because we want the paint out there. Well, I got an audience now. And as I come down, I hit the things in the field. So we have an existing nail. I like to leave them in there so we don't cover the holes up with paint. Bring this casing down. And then, so we've got up, over, down, and we'll just connect the dots down here. I always tell my guys too that if you don't get a nice consistent line of paint on the tape down here, you know you're missing some areas too. We like to use frog tape, and we use really good paint and good prep procedures so we can jam a lot of paint in there and get a consistent finish, but then not have the paint leak through. Make sure we minimize the brush strokes. Tucked in here. You haven't lost the live feed there, young Aaron, have you?
Nope, you have people watching.
You're not going to lose 2 in a row, that's for dang sure. So, as soon as I make the connection here at the end, I'll start rolling. And with a 9-inch roller, these are about 9.5 foot ceilings. You should be able to get at least 2 full widths of a roller, top to bottom, ceiling to floor. If it's an 8-foot room, you should be able to get about three roller widths completely painted, ceiling to floor. All right. So we'll load up our roller with as much paint as we can. Snap it on there, and so what you don't want to do is go right up into the corner like this. You got a roller full of paint, and if you put that up there, you're going to deposit a whole bunch of paint right next to the ceiling that you can't smooth out because your roller can't go up any farther. So the thinking is you come down a little bit, but if you want even consistent paint, you don't want to start over here because you know you're going to do a couple roller bits. So what I do is, a 9-inch roller, you got 1, 2, 3. Because of the high ceilings, we're probably not going to be able to do 3 lengths. I'll come 1 length over, I'll come about a foot down, I'll lay down a stripe of paint. And then I'll work it to the left. Consistent pressure, trying not to leave any roller marks. So we'll work it all the way to the left. We'll go back through our stripe of paint. And then get a little bit more. So I lay down that stripe of paint as like a supply for the rest of it, and then work it to the left, and then work it to the right because I want an even supply of paint. And then we finish it off with 3 finish strokes. Like that, top to bottom, one direction like that. Probably not necessary to do that last bit, but cheap insurance for what you're doing here in case you forgot rolling out. If you start with a full roll of a roller full of paint here and move this way, you can understand what's going to happen. This is going to be very saturated, very thick, and it's going to peter out as you go, and then you're going to get another full roller, and probably won't matter, but if you can eliminate variables like that, I normally do that. So again, coming down, we got about 1 roller width right here to finish before we do top to bottom. Now, you got two choices when it comes to these tops and bottoms. I'll show you kind of both. You can either hit this from the ground, which is kind of preferable to me, you don't have to get on the ladder, or you can get up there and go sideways with it. The top one, I'll do with the pole, the bottom, I'll just go sideways. So again, you don't want to start off right here. What I normally do is come over a little bit, and I'm not doing full strokes. I'm basically tapping the sides of the roller. That disperses the paint, and then you start in the middle, work it to the left. Work it to the right. Now, if you do nothing with that, you're going to see a whole bunch of V patterns in that stuff. So, very important on those little areas to hit it with the finish stroke. One direction, light pressure, even pressure. Little bit of paint. We're not taking full roller fills here because it's overkill. And any really good paint has a tendency to sag a little bit, especially on these humid days. So we're going sideways with this one, feathering it in to where we brush to make sure we don't get any big ridges. And just a nice finish stroke again. Just in case we forgot something. Just a very small amount of paint on this one. Alright, and then we'll resume normal painting. Paint on there as we can. Shorten up the pole because we got some furniture behind us here. We'll go back through our supply of paint. Do about another half. That seems to be about what these walls can take. Taller ceilings and the current coating they have on. Nail in the wall, so be careful not to leave a bunch of paint on that because that'll drip. Right over the nail, otherwise it'll catch a bunch of paint. So we've only been using these white guns for about a month, and they're really good. The guys enjoy them, not shedding at all, which is good. Just sort of the basic thing you need on the roller cover. They seem to load up well. They don't seem to load up with paint as well as the FPVs, but we're still testing. I want to test them on some other coatings here, so. Alright. And we will use a trash bag to cover that during coats, and that's basically how I teach my people to do it. Now obviously, if we're in a bathroom or in a stairwell, we modify it slightly. That's basically what we do for interior walls. So I'll take this. You got to get back to work. Yep. Thanks, Aaron. Yep. All right, let me go through some of these things here and see what we got. See if there's any last questions. And again, type any questions down you have. Sharing is the nicest thing you can do for me in this show. Get other people involved in this show, and let's spread the word here. So, okay. Dominic, I really appreciate that you would ever think about partnering. I really appreciate what you would think about partnering with a mural business. If there was a large call for it and somebody needed to basically have the business side taken away from them, or not taken away, done by somebody else, I would certainly consider. Murals are not something that I market to people, so it would be a little bit of change of business for me, but anything is possible. So Nick Barker, love the 3M patch. I agree. It's a great product. Oop, we're getting a little... There we go. 3M is the bomb, the only patch we use, and I've used a whole bunch of stuff. I used Red Devil vinyl for like 10 years, and you know, it's good, it's still good, but 3M, when I was at their factory, turned me on to this stuff, and it is pretty dang phenomenal. So, Chris Mole, good to see you, sir. Scroll through, see if there's any last final questions here. Tina, another one of my apprentices, she's on a different job site with somebody else. Hard to hear. Sorry guys, I got my earpiece in. I was trying to get a little better sound here, but we'll work on it. We'll work on it. Let's see what else we got here. So can't hear. Yeah, this is what we're working with here, guys. So this should be this should be going right into my phone here. So sorry about that. Technology is sort of letting us down here. Oh no! Aaron, there's no speech coming through. You got to say something next time. Oh man, we seem to not be able. Oh, I guess Nick Barker can hear. We seem to not be able to videotape me painting a wall. We'll get it. We'll get it. I prefer the Josh Murphy. I prefer the Pro Extra Swan on sheetrock walls. Holds a little more paint. Funny you would mention that one. That is my go-to exterior brush. It is also my go-to new construction brush because it does hold a heck of a lot more paint. It's thicker too. Awesome. I use a 3-inch Swan there. Yeah, Josh Murphy, frog tape holds great except for stain. Yes, it is completely ineffective against stain. Blue tape or tan tape is way better than frog tape for stain. Brian Yindra, a good friend of mine watching here. Let's see what else we got going on here. Oh man, great watching a pro, but I can't hear you. Oh no, that's not great. What size nap to use on walls? 1/2 inch? Sorry guys. I think I'm gonna have to take a third crack at this painting a wall with sound here. So thank you so much, everybody. Oh, Nicholas, thank you from watching from Denmark. Jason Danvers, do you always prep all surfaces to your standards prior to any painting commencing, or would you happily go over poor surfaces even if it makes your work look bad? I see too many times where decorators just slap. Well, and not everything is a historic restoration or a museum piece. You have to go by the client's needs. If I was doing apartment turns, you would basically just, the only thing you patch in a wall is a fist hole or a doorknob hole. Beyond that, you're basically just going over everything. If there's dirt on the walls, there's grease on the walls, you just go for it. This is not that, but it is also not a, you know, this isn't the Louvre. We're not doing fine art either. So you have to find the medium between doing a superb job for your clients. I usually try to do way better than my clients expect. That seems to be a good way to go. Oh, Ryan, what's your opinion on taping tops and bottoms of doors and windows? I don't do it. Usually they're super dirty, and even if you do clean them off, they're usually bare wood, full of construction debris, stuff like that. I just haven't found a big benefit of doing that. We just cut a clean line, and in 11 years, well, maybe even back that up, even when I was working for the old family business, 20 years, I've never had anybody call me back and mention anything about that. So evidently it's not a problem. So, all right, everybody, let me know. I'm going to go back and watch this and see if the sound is good. If it's not good, guess what I'm going to be doing next week again, too. So we will get this thing down, and I will ditch this if that's the case, and we will just go straight through the phone. But otherwise, I love, again, this is not me saying this is the only way to do it. This is the most effective way that I found to teach my apprentices. It also delivers the highest quality product, and it does it efficiently too, just your standard sort of interior wall painting. So thank you to the PDCA for underwriting this show. I greatly appreciate their trust in all this stuff here, sending the contractor question of the week. Go to their homepage for the link to the Northeast Tour. Also Crank, if you're not a member of the Business Brush Facebook page, Facebook group, go there. You gotta ask to be involved. There's a couple questions, and then you're part of it, but if you want to know about Crank 2.0 in Denver in a couple weeks from now, contact Nick May or just search for Crank 2.0 or the Business Brush, and you'll find that stuff there. So other than that, everybody have a good, let's turn the comments back on here. Everybody else have a great weekend. It means a lot to me that you guys are watching this. Go see my landing page on thisoldhouse.com. The link is above there. And everybody have a good weekend. And as always, just send me all your questions during the week. I'm happy to correspond with people like I've been doing quite a bit this week. So thank you guys, and we'll talk to you later.